Hello, welcome to the Ginger Blade once again. Today we are talking about the FIFA 22 ratings of Sheffield United players. I'm going to do some guesses. You're going to see on either my right or my left, because I can't work it out with the way, because I look at myself in the camera there, and then, that's why you probably see me staring at myself. But I can't work out which side is my right and which side is my left on the video. It's going to be on the left of the video. You're going to see what the player's rating was, and on the right of the video you're going to see what the player's rating now should be according to me. And then when they all get released, I'll probably do another video to say, do I agree with these ratings? But today I've got two videos. So the first one's going to be the goalkeepers and defenders, me estimating what they should be rated or will be rated, and then one which will be the midfielders and the strikers. So today we're doing goalkeepers and defenders. So let's start it off with the first one, Michael Verrips. Now last season Michael Verrips was a 69 rated. Don't know if he'll keep that. He hasn't really played. If he does, we're going to have a strong three keepers in terms of ratings if Michael Verrips keeps his 69 rated. But I've got him going down to a 66. And I'm not going to go through all the stats, because what's the point? I'm just going for the rating. So I'm going for a 66 for Michael Verrips. I think that's fair. I have a 66 rated third goalkeeper, what he is now. Because he hasn't been overly impressive when he's played this season, has he? He's made a few mistakes. Big ones against West Brom. Yeah, but FIFA probably don't watch that game against West Brom. They'll just think, oh, what did he do last season? And he didn't really do much last season because he didn't play for us. Next up, Wes Foderingham, who was a 71 last season, which is pretty decent really for a second keeper. I don't mind Foderingham, he's alright, he didn't make many mistakes. Since coming in, alright, yeah, he's made a couple of fumbles where he's kicked the ball out and stuff like that, but he's managed to keep reasonably successful in his time in goal. Played against Peterborough, made a great double save against Peterborough just a Saturday just gone just now. But it was a 71 last season. I can't see him keeping that. So I've got him dropping down to a 68 because he didn't play last season. So he's definitely going to drop down. 68 seems about fair, him being better than Verrips. Probably, there's a good chance Verrips might be 68 or around that area, but I can't see why they wouldn't drop, especially when they're a second string keeper in our division. I mean, Simon Moore was always less than a 68 until I think he had a season where he was a 70 or a 71 or something. But 68 is probably fair. Now moving on to Robin Olsen. Obviously new, I've only seen him once. After this, I'm filming this after the Preston game yesterday, where he wasn't overly good. He made a mistake, which led, well, I don't know if it led to the first goal. He might have scored anyway, but it was certainly a contributor to the first goal. Last season, it was a 78 at Everton. 78, pretty good, especially for a championship goalkeeper. I can't see him staying a 78, not now he's a championship goalkeeper. So I've got him down as a 76. 76 rated. Probably fair, a championship keeper at 76 is pretty decent. Played at Everton last season, so maybe that's going to keep him around that area, but he didn't play many. Pickford ended up winning his place back off of Olsen, so who knows. But I think having a goalkeeper would be pretty cool. Not that I ever play Ultimate Team, I just play career mode these days, but 76 rated sounds, that's what I estimate he's going to be. Moving on to our right backs, Jayden Bogle is the first one I'm going to do now. Jayden Bogle was a 72 rated right back last season, which is pretty good actually, and he has decent stats as well, like fairly quick, quite a good dribbler. So yeah, that's pretty good, and his defending was poor, so they've actually got it quite good because his defending is quite poor, but he's quite good going forward. So Bogle was a 72 last year. I got him keeping the same as 72. To be quite honest, me rethinking it, there's a good chance he may drop down to a 71 or a 70, or maybe even a bit below that. Even though he was good last season, And I suppose if they watched him from last season, I think I put him down as a 72, because if they watched him last season, he was pretty good. So that's why I've got him as a 72, and I think, yeah, 72. I mean, I'd be dead happy if he stayed at 72, because I like Bogle and I'd play him in the career mode. He'd be playing in my team. Next up, George Baldock, obviously the other right back. He may be shifted to being just a right back as a possibility this season, but he was a 77 last season. He's pretty good. Obviously he had a good first season in the Premier League, and then last season he was a bit average, didn't do much, his crossing was poor. So I've got him coming down, maybe more than I should do. I've got him as a 74. He might not drop that far, but I think a 74 is probably what you're expecting for players when they drop down a division. I mean, it's a fairly big drop, but it's probably a fair drop because he wasn't great last season, and a 74 is roughly where I would rate George. But it's still a couple of decent fullbacks for a championship, isn't it? Baldock and Bogle as a 74 and a 72 is what I was rating. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. I'd take that. I mean, most of the players are going to get a drop, I'd have thought, because we weren't very good last season. We got relegated, bottom of the league. But yeah, 74 is what I'm estimating for Baldock. Moving on to our left backs, I'm going to look at Reece Norrington-Davies, who obviously didn't play for us last season. He was out on loan. So one of his items was a 64 rated at Stoke. I'm assuming he's going to be an upgrade, one of the few players that is going to be an upgrade on what they got last season. Been reasonably impressed with him. I think defensively he's very he's made some very poor decisions defensively, which have allowed players to get in behind him in real life. But I've still got him getting better. I've got him as a 69. That could be maybe a bit, I don't know, a bit too high. Maybe more like a 67 or a 68. I think the thing what made me think he was going to get a higher rating is that he's getting in the Wales squad, and he's played a few games for Wales. You know, went to the Euros with Wales, didn't play I don't think, but you know, he's gone and he got in that squad, which I suppose international recognition puts their ratings up a bit higher, especially because when they work out the ratings, I don't know if they'll like just do clubs and then international players separate, because then you'd also think that in ratings they'd probably want to make it so the players who are getting picked for their international country are better than players who aren't. So there's a chance of that with Norrington-Davies, that he's going to be a bit higher because he plays for Wales. And hopefully, because again he's another player I might end up playing in my career mode when I start career mode. So 69 would be a decent rating for me, 68, 69. Other left back, obviously, Enda Stevens. Now we got a 78 last year. Now I don't think he was that good in the first season where he should get a 78, but whatever. Again, he's an Irish international. He's a left wing back. I might well see him drop to a left back. I've got him down as just a normal left back, but I can't see him dropping all the way down to a 74 like Baldock. So there's a very good chance that Stevens will stay as a 75, or I think he'll drop, but not quite as far. Obviously we haven't seen him this season, he's been injured, and when he comes back there's probably a good chance he's probably going to get in the team, especially with Norrington-Davies playing some poor defensive games I think last couple, but he looks okay going forward. So Stevens, yeah, I've got him as a 75. I think that's probably fair. I'd be happy with him at 75. Moving on to our centre halves, I'm going to start off with Jack Robinson, who's played a couple of poor games for me in the last two. Peterborough and Preston made a couple of mistakes. He was a 70 rated on FIFA 21. I don't think he'll drop excessively because 70 rated's fairly low already, and because he's been playing, even though he's not been playing overly well. So I've got him just dropping one to a 69. I think it's roughly fair. I mean, he could drop a bit more on his form, but 69 is probably fair for him. Obviously, I think he's really only playing because he's a left-footed centre-back. And obviously we brought in Davies to play left-footed centre-back, and O'Connell's out. 69 I've got him down as. I'd say that's roughly fair. Other left-sided defender I just mentioned was Davies. Now obviously last season he started at Preston, then went to Liverpool, and he was a 72, which is alright. I think Davies is probably another player who's probably not going to drop, because although he didn't play, he went to Liverpool, and you know, he may actually get an upgrade despite not playing when he went to Liverpool because of his time at Preston, which has earned him a move up there. Saying that, I've still got him down as a 72, but he could easily go up to a 74 because of going to Liverpool. We haven't seen much of him. He played against Huddersfield, and I thought he made a mistake for the Huddersfield goal, although a couple of others seemed to make the same mistake. So I'd be happy with a 72, and that's what I'm guessing. Chris Basham next. Obviously, I adore Chris Basham. He didn't have an amazing season last season, but I don't think anybody did. He was a 77 last season, was Bash, and I don't think he'll drop massively, but he will drop a bit. But I've got him staying gold, 75. Could drop a bit more than that, although I don't want him to. I don't think he was that bad last season. He's never that bad. It's Basham. Basham's always reasonably consistent. But I think 75 is, I think it's probably fair. Championship defender would make him one of the better defenders in the division. So overall, I'd be happy with 75. 74 or above it, I'd be happy with. And finally, John Egan. I'm not going to do Jack O'Connell and stuff like that, although they probably will be in the game because, you know, he's injured and he's in my career mode. I'm not going to play him because he's injured in real life because I like it to be realistic. So I'm just going to do John Egan to finish it off. 78 last season. Now I think John Egan might stay fairly high because he was okay last season. So he was a 78 last season. So I've got Egan just dropping down to a 76. I think that's probably fair. I mean, he's been playing well for Ireland. He's got Ireland's Player of the Year despite his going down. So that says something. And Egan, you know, Egan started this season looking comfortable in this division, I think, which is what you expect. I mean, he'd be one of the best defenders in this division. So yeah, 76. I've got him down as 76, 77. I think he probably will drop from a 78 because that's very high. I mean, if you look at the fact that he got the Irish Player of the Year, he might stay the same, and he might get 78, which would be amazing. But I think everyone's going to pretty much drop. So that's it for the defenders and the goalkeepers. The midfielders and the strikers are going to be coming up in the next one. The next one you might see a different background than this because I might not be filming it here. Otherwise, it'll be a whole week because I'm not going to be here until next Monday. And that's it for this one. Tell me down below what you think the ratings are going to be. I'd be very interested to see if you think I'm talking absolute rubbish. Maybe you think some of them is going to be better than what I've said they are. Maybe way worse. I'm fairly comfortable with the ratings I've given them. I've not done some of the younger players, by the way, like the Lapatas and your Karen Gordons, and you know, they're part of the squad, but I've not really gone into details with them because I haven't seen them enough to really say that. And last season they weren't really in the game. They were sort of in and out of the game. They come in and out of the game. But other than that, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, then please like and subscribe and do all the other things you do. Comment about how I can improve the videos. Go and check out some of the other videos I've done. I've done previews and reviews. I've got Match of That Day, which is me looking at some old programs and things like that, going through them. Also check out my Mint Jelly Media website and portfolio, which is my video company. And other than that, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.